We're making a YouTube video. I'm recording it from my bed because I'm tired. This video is going to be my top tips. Trained 4 years bodybuilding. I look like this. And my legs look like this. My top tips for bodybuilding. Just what I have. What I know. Tip number 1. If you're not consistent, you're wasting your time. Okay. Tip number 2. Find a frequency that you can handle. Find volume that you can handle. I can't lie, I'm trying to waffle. Find volume that you can handle. If you're getting stupidly sore after a session, you're overdoing it. And you're just going to mess up your recovery, right? You want to make sure you're working out a muscle, preferably at least twice a week. So 2 times frequency a week is kind of what you want. Every muscle. So stop skipping legs. Why would you skip legs? This is why, if you look at my physique, legs are probably one of my strongest points. I've never skipped legs. Ever. Also, legs are the biggest muscle in your body, so they help produce more testosterone, and it kind of helps build other muscles and whatever sciencey, I guess, stuff. Yeah, find a frequency that works. You don't even need to be sore after the gym to be like gaining muscle efficiently. It helps to be like if you, let's say you do a gym session and tomorrow you feel a smidge of soreness, you're good. That's probably like a good amount, because it means that you should recover next time. Okay, if you're trying to cut and you're not weighing yourself or like counting calories, you're wasting your time. Again, it's like you're trying to, do you know what it is? You're going through the woods, you have a torch in your pocket, but you're just deciding to walk in the dark. And you're like, why am I tripping over stuff? Because you can't see, can you? You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's going on. You're just like, because you can't really stay objective. It's hard to stay objective in your physique, and you want to know what's going on. So count your calories. Okay? And none of that bullshit like, I kind of count. Just count. Count meal prep. Meal prep has saved my life. I was so against meal prep, and I did it once, and I've been only eating meal prep for like the past like 10 months. Not only, ooh, look at that. Not only eating meal prep, but like I'm pretty much on plan, and then I'll have extra cheat meals and whatnot here and there. So yeah, if you're cutting and you're bulking, you kind of need to know where you're going. You need to be able to look at your weight, see what's going on, and then depending on what's happening to your weight, you can up the cardio or you can lower the calories, or if you're cutting, etc. So yeah, don't waste your time. And then also, it's like if you're a bodybuilder and you're like, yo, I actually want to really do this properly, do what I do. I cook once every 4 days. Once every 4 days, and I've got food for 4 days. It's low-key, it's time efficient, and it's just gonna help you like do what you need to do. So it's worth it. What else? Cuts and bulks are definitely useful. Just make sure you're doing them right. If you're cutting and you're losing strength, something's going on. I did one cut to 7%. I lost strength for like the last 2 weeks of that cut, and that was a 5-month cut. And then instantly when I started reversing out, so I wasn't even at my bulking calories, in 2 weeks or 1 week, I went back to having my strength from peak bulk with 20 kilos less fat. So you really shouldn't be losing strength. If you're losing strength, you're kind of, you might be doing it too harsh, and it helps to taper it down. So like if you're eating 3,000 calories, maybe taper 2.8, see what happens. 2.6, 2.4, I usually always aim for like a kilo a week. If I'm losing roughly a kilo a week, it's pretty good. Sometimes I'll push it extra if I'm doing like a mini shred, but the thing is, if you go too hard, you're gonna lose muscle, and if you lose muscle, it's not worth it. And try always bulk for like at least 2 or 3 times the amount of when you cut. So I'll do a mini cut for like 1 month, I bulk for like 3 or 4, but I won't get fat. And don't do dirty bulks, because you're just being lazy. You're just being lazy. There's nothing else to it. You're just lazy. Look at me in my bed. Looking like I'm in my bed. You're being lazy. They'll be like, oh, I'm doing a dirty bulk. Do you know what dirty bulk is? It's you just being a fat fuck. But that's all it is. It's basically you're just saying, I've gone through all of this pain and suffering, right, to get rid of the fat and try to keep muscle on, and now I'm just gonna gain unnecessary fat for no reason. So don't do that. Count your calories. Go into a surplus and gain I aim for like maybe 0.4 kilos, 1 or 2 pounds. It's like 0.45 kilos or something. I go for like 0.4 a week, and that's plenty, right? And remember, everything's about averages, okay? So it's an average. Don't look at it and be like, you're like cutting. Let's say you're cutting and you go, well, 1 week I lost 0.8, but then the other week I lost 1.2. So something has to be wrong. No, you just lost a little bit more. It's okay. If you feel okay and everything's going okay, and you're not pushing it to like 2 kilos a week, then you're okay. The body works in averages. So chill out. no one's gonna die. You're gonna be okay. Make sure you don't overdo it on either side. And just, that's the whole point. You're just losing weight slowly. Anyway, don't cut for like 6 months and bulk for 6 months. That's bad. There's no point in doing that. Say you shred for 2 months, then you maintain for like for 2 weeks, and then you cut for like another month. That doesn't mean that your cut was 3 months and 2 weeks. It was 3 months and you had 2 weeks maintenance, right? But I just cut. So I just cut, bulk. And then however long I cut for, I bulked for like 3 times the amount. So apart from my 5-month prep, that was something else. I cut and prep are 2 different things. Cut, you're just trying to get rid of fat, just like enough so that then you can have good insulin sensitivity and all that type of stuff, and then you can bulk up again, right? That's a cut. A prep, you're trying to go like 6%, maybe 5%. Prep is like you're gonna compete basically. I was doing a mock prep to see if I could mentally hack it, and I did. The plan was, oh yeah, go to 10%, and then we bulk up, because 10% is pretty much, it's kind of like the golden area, but you can still bulk after that. You're not so lean that you're gonna develop an eating disorder. I remember I was like, when I was like even 9-8%, but I remember when I was at 7%, there was one point, I remember there was one day I looked in the mirror for like 20 minutes and I was like, I don't recognize this person. I was like, who's this staring back? Like, it didn't look like me. If you're doing a cut, if you're not gonna compete, don't go below 10%. I don't recommend it. Okay, if you're someone that naturally sits around, I don't know, 14-15%, kind of have abs maybe, or if you're someone that doesn't have abs and you're trying to go below 10% just to bulk up again, you will probably not be able to hack it, because you'll get to that 10%, or maybe even 9, maybe you get to 9%, and then you eat something, and then I don't think you'll physically be able to stop yourself from eating more, and you'll start cheating and and then you're not gonna bulk up properly. Is how lean can I get and still recover without having an eating disorder? Because when you get to 7%, bro, it was really bad, to be honest. My one, I remember I was sleeping maybe like at peak cut, maybe like an hour or 2 a night. Yeah, for like a couple weeks. I was so hungry. How do I explain it to you guys? It's a different type of pain. You don't know what it's like until you felt it. Have you ever gone swimming and you're like starving? Okay, times that by like 200 and then loop that for 24 hours. Yeah, so it's insane. It's actually insane. And that was 7%. Imagine if I compete and I go to like 5. Oh, tips and tricks. Have a workout plan. Have exercises that target all the muscles. You don't have to destroy your whole back in one session. If you have 2 times a week frequency, you don't need to do, okay, well, I need lats, I need fucking traps, I need lower back, I need to do the fucking spinal erectors, you don't have to hit every single thing. You could do 3 exercises. You could do, okay, so I'm going to do lat pull down, rows, and shrugs, right? So that one, it's like, okay, you got a bit of lats, a lot of like upper back and whatnot. And then the next session you can go, so that session before is a upper back focus, let's say, theoretically, right? The next session, you're like, okay, I'm going to do hyperextensions, but then I'm going to do single arm pull down and then pullovers. And that'll be lat focus. Or lower back and mid back, like focus. Do you kind of get what I mean? That's complicated shit, right? But what I'm saying is 2 times a week frequency, find stuff that works and make sure you're hitting everything at least at one point. My workout's a bit weird. I have push-pull legs, right? But one of the legs is quad focus and one of the legs is density focus. On my density focus days, I do RDLs. When I do RDLs, my lower back gets lit on fire and injected with steroids, bro. Oh my God. My max is 140 for like 10. And the thing is, I don't bend my back at all. So it's just 140 kilos on my lower back. So it gets lit the fuck up. But then I train back twice a week. So my lower back probably gets hit a little bit twice a week, but I don't do anything to like isolate it because I know that the RDLs are going to cook it. So pay attention to what you're doing and make sure you're not going to overdo certain muscle groups. Make sure you're recovering. If you're not recovering before your next session, you're not training. Don't train. Don't be like, oh yeah, oh, it'll be fine, I'm just going to train it sore. Are you dumb? Like, no, that's stupid. It's like, you're like, okay, let me get really shit stimulation and like when I'm at like 5,000 times the risk, the normal of getting injured. If you have an elastic band and it's just an elastic band, you stretch it and cut it a little bit and then stretch it. What's the chances that it's gonna fucking snap, right? Same with muscle fibers. If your muscle fibers are broken down and they're sore, which means they're broken down from last session, and you try to train them again, which is stretching it, what's the odds that they're gonna snap? Okay, yeah. So let's not train when we're sore. Or at most, if you're like, oh, but I have to blah, 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 get a pump and go home. Because you did too much last session and you're not recovered. I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting that I can tell you. Hit your protein, obviously. Obviously. A gram per, like, pound of body weight is pretty good. If you're on tren, I think you might be able to have more protein because your body recovers more and all that type of stuff. Whole Foods will give you the fattest pump of your whole life. If you're like, oh, I'm struggling to get a pump at the gym, eat 1.5 kilos of sweet potato. And then go gym. Your arm's going to fall off. There's going to be so much blood in your arm that you're going to be a different race in your arm compared to the rest of your whole body. I don't know what's going on, but it's like fucking, or I'm Thanos, I don't know. It's purple because there's so, like, yeah, anyway. So, complex carbs and rice. I hope this filmed right because I've just talked to myself for 15 minutes. Message what you want next. Tell me in the comments. Just tell me what you want. Tell me what you want so I know what you want. Yeah, pretty good tips. Yeah. Ciao, ciao.